cup here. Yeah.
It's the whole point. You got to have coffee.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ray. Here we are having coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning. I got
Yes, ma'am.
like an email today. It made me feel sad, just like the junk mail that comes through, and it was for like senior savings. I don't think I'm there yet. Why are they targeting me on that?
Like saving money.
Like as a senior,
Yeah.
I felt
Frick, I
sad. Like I almost went back to bed and was like, screw this day. It's over for me.
well, I just started saving money because we've been retired from wagon racing. So it seems that when you're not wagon racing, you have some money you can actually
Extra
save.
money in the bag. You're like, what is
Yeah.
this?
And I'm 40, so I think I'm gonna have to work till I die. I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
I feel you. Someone the other day asked me, like, well, what are your plans for retirement? And I was like, what's that?
Yeah,
Like,
food stamps. And I'm gonna shop at
I
the
really like, is
secondhand
it
store.
wrong that I'm banking on my kid to be super successful and then take care of me? Is that wrong? That's not a retirement plan? Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've kind of, I like to work hard and make money, and yeah, sure, have a nest egg, but I'm also a guy that kind of lives in the moment and what if I die tomorrow, type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's maybe the best or the worst of both worlds. So I
Yeah.
just, life's short. And I realized as you get older, you realize it because time goes by so quick. And then all of a sudden, your kids are 15 or 16, and I don't know, felt like yesterday that they were knee high to a grasshopper. So,
Yeah, nothing makes you aware of time more than a child. Like it blows your mind.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
We're just stalling, as you know, because you go live every understand. We're just waiting for people to join us, having some
That's good.
coffee, getting really philosophical about our retirement.
Yeah.
It is a what the fuck Wednesday if we're talking about our retirement plans, right?
No, no. Well,
Hey, Kelly.
what the fuck? Because where's all the money going to come from when I'm 90 and in a wheelchair? What the fuck?
I don't know. Maybe we can. Well, they don't have a lot of like bank robberies with seniors. Maybe we can give that a whirl. Nah,
Yep.
it's not going to work. It'll be a foiled plan
I'm
from the
banking
get
on
go.
the oil patch booming, and I promise I won't piss this one away. Come on, baby.
One more time. One more
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I
Yeah.
promise. I promise.
This time, got back from Winnipeg. He says we sound old. Yeah, I guess it's really what it is. Kelly says she's on the Freedom 75. Yeah.
Well, with what our current government's doing, it'll be Freedom 90. Just blow it all away.
Morning trellis. Yeah. So anyway, I'll introduce my guest here. For those of you who don't know, it is WTF Wednesday. So this is the show where we sometimes drop a few more F bombs than we do the rest of the week. We like to have a laugh. We like to have some fun. Please share in the comments if you've had something this week or lately that's made you eye roll, made you shake your head, make you feel like you need to vent about it today. You have space to vent with us. Our guest we're excited to have a world racing chuck wagon. I don't even know what I'm supposed to call you, guy.
Washed
Rae
up old
Croteau's
wagon
with us
driver.
this morning.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me.
And slash, but I feel like of lately, like I don't know, you're really embracing becoming 40 and you're jumping into this age, and you outrode in both levels of racing in the last couple of months.
Yeah, there's a little bit of rust to buff off, but actually it come back pretty quick. I think the only thing that I could, I guess, complain about for myself is my back and my
Yeah.
peripheral. my peripheral vision wasn't picking up little things that I would like it to, but I honestly hadn't outrode in 13 years and got back out there, and I don't know, it felt pretty good actually. I enjoy the horses, I enjoy the sport, and the camaraderie of the outrider group and the wagon drivers, and just lucky to be able to still do it. I guess I probably have the mental drive and determination versus the
The
pure
physical body.
athleticism and the fit toned physique that you're gonna see in Men IQ or whatever it's called, that magazine.
Well, the fact that you jump onto a horse, let alone ride it around, to me is like always been baffling about outriders.
Yeah,
Like, that's just
it's honestly pretty
you're like
easy.
a rubber band man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just the momentum of the horses. If you have the technique down properly, it's easy to pretty much load yourself. Because as they're running, it's just that momentum of swinging on. It kind of works in your favor. So
Yeah. Now we've got people on Coffee Club that watch and tune in and hang out with us from all over the world. So it's very possible that we have some people who will see this or hang out with us at some point who probably have never seen chuck wagon racing before. Does that seem a little, because it's your whole life for so long, does it seem weird that people would know what it was? Have you come across people like that?
oh yeah, it's fairly common just because it's so central, like are focused in Western Canada, mainly Alberta, Saskatchewan. Uh, Back when we did run down in Cheyenne at the Frontier Days, this was 20 years ago. It was a fan favorite there for sure, but I don't know. It's always just been stuck in Western Canada, and it's pretty much. I think it's almost the Calgary Stampede sport if they would actually take ownership to it, because anybody that's watched television and rodeo, they've caught it sooner or later. So, but yeah, there's lots of people around the world that had no idea, or even across Canada on the East Coast, they've never seen chuck wagon racing and don't understand it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where if you haven't experienced it, I mean, most people in their lifetime won't ride in the back of a wagon. I got that opportunity once. Maybe someday you'll give me another one or something. But like that adrenaline that comes out, even just as someone who's like going for a joyride and it's not full tilt, that shit's crazy. I could see why you got addicted to it.
It is. It's riding in the back too. There's a sense of like zero control. So you're just a passenger with four horses that have their own minds, and hopefully they all want to listen to the guy that's driving them. And then I think a lot of your senses are on, they're wide open, right? So whether it's your touch, your feel, your hearing, and you hear the creaks and the rattle of the wagon, and you kind of think like, this thing feels like it's going to fall apart, and then you're going 40 or 50 kilometers an hour. So it can be a bit overwhelming and just a total different experience from driving down the highway in a nice car with AC and a sunroof.
Exactly. They are as rickety as they look. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good morning. Yeah. Roy's Place. Have you ever eaten Roy's Place in Claire's home?
I can't say I have. No.
Okay, you got to put that on the list if you come down to.
Stop there.
They have this cinnamon bun that's like the size of your head. Like you and Mike should do an episode of your podcast from Roy's Place.
Yeah. So you can accomplish the cinnamon bun. But that's a soft spot in my heart too. I'm a cinnamon bun guy, I won't lie.
Yeah. Well, you haven't had a cinnamon bun until you've had one of Roy's Place cinnamon buns. So there's your free plug. So we look forward to the delivery of our cinnamon buns, Keith, to having fun with it. But speaking of, you're doing a Chuck Wagon podcast these days every week. You also can find it else to host it with you. So you've met with Mike Lavelle. How's that going?
It's been great. Well, you're our boss, so that's even handier. You got the tech down like no other. So, me and Mike, we talked about it on and off for almost a year, and then finally decided to pull the plug.
A
But
long time.
it was pre-COVID and then COVID, and it was just kind of monotonous of what we would talk about because we're in lockdown and nobody's allowed to have fun or be cool or do anything outside of breathing and sleeping in your own bedroom. So that went real well. Anyways, it's been good. So a lot of my friends and people that I've raced against we're having on as guests, and we're just 6 or 7 episodes in and getting a feel and a
12.
rhythm.
You actually did episode 12 last night.
Oh, geez, time goes by when you're having fun. So I gotta get some more guys lined up, and it's tough sometimes during the summer when they're traveling between shows, but guys they're just tied up and they're busy, so we end up talking about the sport a little bit more. And I hope to get into like this fall, interviewing some sponsors and committee members and just different people that put on shows, and just get everybody educated on the sport, and hopefully some more questions and ideas come in that we can portray through the broadcast.
I think it's cool. I know you guys were talking a little bit last night about some of the economic impact that having races in different communities does for those communities. And it's like, I want to say it's a little thing we don't think about, but it's kind of a big thing. So it's interesting to hear from some of the communities on what that impact has looked like for them. And it's not easy. It's not like every community just jump on board to bring racing there, because you have to have the track in it to a certain condition. But it sure would be cool if we could get more places that did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the the bigger sustainable centers are the best places to do it. They got the fan base or the crowds that want to be there. We did touch on how we support the community when we're there, because we do set up and live there for a week or 6-7 days. But honestly, it all starts with the committees and how when they sign up and the work that they put into it to get us there. And that's the biggest support comes from them and the local businesses that sponsor the event or sponsor Chuck Wagon and want to get their name out there and then have a fun weekend with it. So I guess the bonus part is us being there and shopping at those businesses and going to the grocery store or buying fuel or mechanics, what have you, right? So but we don't ever give enough credit to the actual committees and the time and work that's put into it. Just like any event, doesn't matter if wagons, rodeo, motocross or a hockey tournament or whatever, the volunteers are kind of the people that never get enough credit, and I don't think they look for credit, but they damn well deserve it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the spirit of What the Fuck Wednesday, anything made you feel outrageous in the last little while that you need to get off your chest today?
Well, like I'm not a big fan of COVID, so it's endless the things that we can talk about there. So, but I think the one that really stands out for me is like how do women shed so much? Like I have 2 daughters and my wife, and like I can find a foot long hair anywhere. Like the other day I opened the microwave and and our microwave is different. It's like a drawer, it slides open and then you set your food in it. And I look in the microwave and there's a hair there. And I was just like, imagine that.
Yeah.
And then, on the bathroom floor, in the shower. Like how are you guys like, how aren't you guys bald?
It's a valid question. I am not going to lie. I found one hanging out of the water reservoir on my Keurig today. I'm like, how is that even possible?
Like, I think I'm going to start taking pictures or short videos, and then I'm gonna put a compilation together, and I'll just like it's amazing where you can find some women's hair.
Your hair compilation video. I look forward to this. Will be entertaining.
Yeah. I guess the other one I like, I make fun of COVID because I don't take it serious, and which whatever, people can shame me or blame me or whatever, but that's just my personality. But when you're driving in a vehicle alone by yourself and you have a mask on, I'm probably gonna honk and yell at you. Like I just can't get it. I just can't get it.
No. It's made me wonder too. It's made me wonder a lot. Kelly shares that she always finds hair wrapped around her toes. That's also, I feel like a bit of that's a bit of a confession too, Kelly, I think. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Morning, Cheryl. Yeah. I feel you. Are you an Olympics guy?
This summer I've watched some of the highlights on social media. I like seeing high performance athletes, right? And people winning. Actually, I like to see people winning. I like to see Canada do well, but I enjoy seeing the countries that, maybe it's their first medal or they don't medal very much, but somebody actually won a medal and how excited they are. I've been called a wagon jumper lots because I don't really have a certain hockey team I cheer for, but I just, any sport, if there's the finals are on, I like to watch it. And then when somebody wins, I like to see the group of people and how happy they are and how hard they worked and all the emotions that went into it. And, being successful is everybody's goal, I guess. But, I just enjoy seeing people do good, and maybe watching the Olympics or these type of sports is the people that win and how hard they work for it and they actually, achieve their goals. It's pretty cool to see.
Now, do you ever have any? I know we talked about it a little bit. I had Ben Hebert on to talk Olympics with me. I think it was last week or the week before, and we kind of had a little bit of a joke at. Obviously, the events in the Olympics take a huge amount of athletics. Does that feel like an amazing Olympic sport to you?
Sorry, just say that again. You kind of broke up there.
Speed walking was an Olympic event.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I get the technique and the
but it's kind of funny to watch. The new one was canoe sprinting. Did you see that?
I never seen that one. No, I haven't. I've been like kind of out of touch with it, but they're adding new sports every year. But the speed walking, it's like, what did you eat last night? Because you're running somewhere. Like the porta potty's down the block, and that's where you're headed. Like, oh my god.
It looks very butt clenched, doesn't it? I mean, they probably have amazing butts, so I speak out of jealousy, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're squatting lots. I know it. I can see it. That's probably not one that I really tune into.
Say again.
That's probably not one I really tune into or catches my eye. I laugh at it, but anyways, everybody's got their skill.
Yeah. No, I really liked. I can't remember the country or the woman's name, so I'm obviously not retaining a lot of information. But I like the stories like you, where this woman, I can see her face in my mind, but she was the first woman to win a medal for that country ever. Those are the kind of stories I think are.
Yeah.
She was so elated.
Yeah, I'm an underdog. I love seeing the underdog win or come out on top type of thing, and that sets generations up, right? So for that country, you watch in the next 15-20 years, the rest of our lifetime, I bet you there's an influx of people trying to follow her footsteps. So that's awesome.
Yeah. It looks nice where you are. Are you at home this morning?
Yeah, sitting on the deck. I actually go back to work tomorrow, so uh, I like work, I like making money, but having a day job's kind of like ugh. Some days you're like, what the fuck are we doing out here? Why? Or I can't believe you pay us to do this. And then you just,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I worked in the oil field my whole life, and it's kind of a rat race at times. So it was pretty fortunate to get. I kind of took the last month off, and this job was delayed, so it actually extended my summer break a little bit, and we enjoyed it. Went to some wagon races, got to see some friends, enjoyed the sun and the heat,
Yeah.
and now I'm recharged. I'm ready to give her again, ready to do it.
Yeah. I think it was nice. I think we all needed. I mean, we all probably did a month off, but we all needed that break. And I don't know about you, like even the opportunity you had to be at some of the races, just the. I've talked to other people, say the world or whatever, and just that there's something about the community coming together and those full stands and the cheering and the music and the all the pieces that, man, did we miss that.
Yeah, like the first wagon race we went to was in Dewberry, so small town, like super small. If you blink, you miss it. Um, they had probably 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 people every night. You know, smaller venues, smaller grandstands. But that night, they had a street dance 2 nights out in front of the bar. And I know the first night we went there, everybody was like buzzing because they're like, there's live music, people socializing and visiting, and it just felt like you were let out of jail, and it was pretty
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then you get down to a place like Strathmore, and High River was the same way, but Strathmore, they broke records every night at attendance. You could just feel the energy and the vibration in the city and the town, and people are like hungry for entertainment and the social life, and uh, seeing their support for the wagons and excitement, it was super satisfying and just kind of amazing to be able to 20 minutes an hour before races start, you're sitting back in the barns and you can see the grandstand off in a distance, and it's packed, and they got the music pumping and they're waiting for us, right? So I don't know, it just kind of fuels a guy's heart, and you just
Yeah.
you just love it.
Yeah. Did it make you miss not being in that world even more?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been retired for 6 years. So 2015-16 season, I sold out in Calgary, and for the first 2 seasons off, I was pretty much cold turkey. I didn't watch any races or listen to it on the radio or nothing. So keep in mind, like, I grew up in this sport, so I was a kid, probably
Yeah.
6, 7 years old around horses, and then started out riding, started driving, and having, I raced for 18 years, but I was probably around it for 30. So I'm wired, programmed a certain way, right? And 6 years later, if you got time off, you're going to help a friend at the wagons, or I like to go to the lake, but 2 or 3 days is enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm somebody that needs to be doing something constructive when I'm off, whether it's working around the house at home, or I don't mind just being a vegetable for a day or two, but I don't know. I find that maybe I get anxiety from not being productive or thinking I'm being
Yeah.
productive, whether I'm cutting
We're
the
so
grass or
programmed.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm wired to be like on the go all the time. So, um, just keep finding myself back at the wagons, and there's true passion and love for the horses and the people involved and the sport. And, they're like any sport or business, there's some politics involved with the game, but I think that's just
Yeah.
part of life in general, and you got to kind of block that out. But yeah, it's we're on the we're on the verge of wanting to make a comeback and get racing again and enjoy the lifestyle. It's not a uh, really financially benefiting sport. Like it you can
It's
do
not
well,
helping
but
the retirement plan. Yeah.
yeah, but it's a lifestyle, and it's something that, we've made a lot of friendships over the years, and there's great people and sponsors that are involved, and anybody I've reached out to and mentioned it to, they like the idea and want to support it and get back. And a lot of them joke that they didn't think it would take me 6 years. They thought I'd be back sooner. So,
Yeah.
we're tossing that idea around and trying to really wrap our heads around it. But I think it's in our future, but we'll see what happens.
Flirt with it a little bit, see how it feels. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the state of the economy, everything's starting to look a little better. The oil patch, and if people know wagons and rodeo, it's kind of hand in hand with that economy. So the oil patch really supports the Western heritage and our lifestyles, and they enjoy it and like to have fun.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time to ease back in. So this is me convincing myself and maybe anybody in my family.
If anybody watching, letters of support. Well, and I think
Yeah.
that, I mean, we could, like you said before, we could go on a whole tangent. We could go on an entire rant about COVID easily. I think anybody could. And I think we get to the point where we're kind of like, you don't even want to talk about it. What I do feel appreciative of this whole experience, because it is my nature to find what's the good in this that we can pull out of it, is that the things like you just said in describing that people coming out is perhaps we really took for granted a lot of elements in our lives. And now we have this sort of newfound energy and appreciation for those other things. And I don't know if we would have had that in 2021 had we not had this weird scenario happen to us. So I feel like the positive pulling out of this is the energy around community and what can happen next for us feels pretty cool.
I'll agree totally with you. I get it. When you, like, the grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence 98% of the time. So the slowdown made us stop and think and look around and decide what we valued and cherished. And for me, maybe it was wagon racing and the way a family's brought up in it, and how your heritage and your history is involved, and how short life is. So learning to enjoy the things that you do and not take advantage of them, is what I learned from it. I was fortunate. I didn't really lose too many days of work, maybe a couple months total, but so financially I was okay there. But there's still the stress in watching the news, and the first probably 6 months you watch the news every night, and kind of I've got to the point now where I blocked it all out, and I just decided to day to day live your life and continue on, and not be worried about the things you can't control, and focus on the things that you do have control of. And I think being happy and taking care of the people under your roof, and your family and your friends, and that's where it's at. So
Yeah. I like this philosophical, Ray. Yeah. You're good.
I can get on a rant some days.
Like old guy on the porch teaching us about life. We're gonna have to tune in with you again in the future, and you can circle the wagons back with us. Awesome. Well, I want to be conscious of your time and people who join us to have a quick cup of coffee in the morning. And just thank you so much for popping on and having a chat and a coffee and saying hello. I told you this off the air, but we sort of brainstormed as a group people we wanted to have come on and chat, and you're one of the people that people brought up. So thanks for agreeing to it. I don't know if you paid them or they're really hard up for entertainment, but you made the list, my friend. Yeah.
Well, I actually am honored to be able to make that list, and I don't really find myself too interesting, but if others do, I don't mind slapping my lips a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have you on again because you're entertaining. And if people want to check out podcast that you do with Mike. When and where can they do that?
Every Tuesday at 7:30. So yeah, that's kind of the program during the race season, and then we'll probably wind down a little bit on the off season and just try to focus on some of the other committees and people like that are involved. But we're having fun. We're telling stories. We're making fun of people, and but down to heart. Talking and passionate about the sport and how people got started. So it's pretty generic and the same as anything. But if you like wagon racing, you're gonna get to hear some pretty cool stuff.
Okay, I'm just gonna. People can find it here. So there's a Facebook page called Let's Talk Chuck Wagons. You can find it there. It's also on Limelight Audio and Media's YouTube page, in case you're not a Facebooker.
Yep. Yes, and
So
thank you, Jody, for knocking that out of the park. We got the easy jobs. You got the job of trying to keep us organized and going forward. So
herding cats is my new superpower. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are easy.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Ray, for having coffee with us this morning. Thank you, friends, for joining us. If you're catching this live or if you catch the replay later, please feel free to share in the comments if you got to get something off your chest today. It's your opportunity to swear. And like I always like to say, at some point today, you have to clear your throat chakra and you have to scream the F word as loud as you can at some point today and just let it out. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will see you back here on Friday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Have a good day. Cheers, everyone.